all, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to jig up an old cell phone, a couple inexpensive Amazon parts, and a RAM mount X brace that can be generically bought off of Amazon into a GPS system for your buggy offline. You don't need a SIM card for this. I'm going to be using Polaris Ride Command and downloading the maps offline. And boy, is my beard ever janky today. Okay, I'm going to show you guys what's up. So the following two screenshots are an example of what you're going to need to power the phone if you choose to do so, if you're just not going to straight run off of battery power, and to mount it to your bike. So these are the two things you're going to need to get if you don't already have them. Okay, so everything I have here for the project is laid out. First thing I got was a USB waterproof charger that goes to 12 volt that connects right to your battery. I got this off Amazon. I'll put the link in below. This is not a sponsored thing. I just picked a random thing off of Amazon. You can get whatever the heck you want that's USB charging, that's waterproof. The next thing I got was a cheap X mount that hooks into a RAM connection. You can attach the cell phone however you like to your buggy or whatever you're going to put this on. Yeah, so this was cheap also on Amazon, not a sponsor, you know, whatever, get whatever you want. The next thing I have is an old beater cell phone. It's USB-C charging, but it fires off errors when it gets damp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this USB-C charger and I'm going to silicone it all around here. This silicone is all dried up, but there's a little bit in the tail end that I'm going to use, poke a nail in, and that's about it for the gear. I'm going to show you guys how to put Polaris Ride Command on your phone, and I'm going to give you a link in the description below where on the Polaris website it shows you how to do offline maps, so you don't need any internet connection whatsoever. It downloads your local maps right to the phone, so stay tuned for that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the lock screen on this phone so that you don't have to put a password in. It's going to, how do I do this now? Settings, security, and we're going to go screen lock pin. I'm going to enter my pin, and then I am going to choose none for screen lock. Remove device protection, yes. Because this is just a dumb GPS phone, there's none of my personal information on this. So that's step one. Step two is to turn the screen always on. So looking at this phone, I do not see an always on. I do see a, where'd it go? Screen timeout right there. And I don't have a timeout never, so I'm going to change that to 30 minutes of inactivity. So worst case scenario, every half hour I'm going to have to hit a button to open this, open up the GPS again. But that's really no biggie because it's going to be a free GPS, if you know what I'm saying. Next up, we are going to go to the App Store or the Apple Store, whatever you choose. Up top, you're going to search for Polaris Ride Command app, and that's what you're going to want to get. So download the Polaris Ride Command app. Alright, so the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to Polaris.com Help Center and search for offline maps in the Ride Command app. Yeah, so this will detail everything you need to do to get your area's maps locally downloaded to the Polaris Ride Command app. So go ahead and do that, and we will talk to you in a minute. So as you can see, I now have a bunch of maps. I pretty much selected all of Nova Scotia and some of New Brunswick, a good chunk of where I would ever go. So as you can see, we have trails all over the place, and with this Polaris Ride Command you can also import other people's tracks. So the next thing we're going to do is I am going to silicone the USB-C cable. You may not have to do this, but I'm going to do it because this phone right here is super flaky when it comes to moisture. So I'm just gonna silicone the cable right onto the right into the USB-C jack, because I have a spare cable I got from the dollar store. Okay, so this bit is optional. What I'm gonna do is I squeezed out some silicone, and I'm gonna take it and put it on a nail, and I'm just gonna sort of paint around and make a seal around this so that it's all sealed up good, because this phone's a little funky and just spits errors. So I'm going to show you what I did here. I painted the silicone all the way up and around and down onto the black cell phone case, so that hopefully it has a bit of a bond, so that it'll keep the plug in place. So I sort of pretty much glued it in with silicone. Alright, so this is the next day, and you can see that I really slathered on the silicone, and it's now dry, so that's kind of glued in there, which is good. So I'm going to open up this dual charger, and we're going to see what that's all about. That's Lola walking by. And there's my man Buzzy on the couch. Alright, so the box comes with everything you see here. You got some wiring instructions and some more wiring instructions. And then we have the charger itself, along with a positive and negative, and that looks like an inline fuse there, which is awesome. And these look like some mounting hardware. So the next step is for me to go outside. Yeah, I trimmed my beard a little bit since the last clip. Is for me to go outside, go to my buggy, and start doing the install. So I'll see you out there. All right, folks, here we are. I took the seat off my bike, and here is the charger. I need to put a positive and negative lead on the battery, but in order to get to the battery, you need to take those two screws off there, and there's one screw right there underneath the bike, or a bolt. So I took those off. Yeah, so this cover it's a little rough to get out. Just hold on a second now. It pulls right out like that. Shunk. You put that over there, and there's your battery. So I'm going to clean this all up. I'm going to put the positive, negative. As you can see, there is an inline fuse in this model. I don't recommend this model. I don't not recommend this model. You get whatever you need to get. So I'm going to get this installed. I'm going to route it along here, underneath through here, and up here. So I'll show you when I'm done. So I wanted to show you something. As you guys probably already know, the nut that floats underneath this bracket on the battery is floating, and there's that much room for a nut that's only about that wide. So it floats up and down. So when you try and screw the screw in, the nut goes down further than the bolt part of it goes in. So you'll never catch threads. So what I do is I fold up a little piece of cardboard and shim underneath the nut until I can get the thread on, and that works. So as you can see, I have the negative to the negative and the positive to the positive, and make sure the rubber boot goes up over there. Some people use a Phillips head screwdriver for this, but it's tight and I can't get the torque of that I want on this. You don't get a really reef on them, but I use a 10 mil wrench and instead of a screwdriver, just to be safe. So now I am going to put the cover back on and route this cable up under here, and hopefully I'll be able to find a spot. Okay, you can see that the cable is now routed along the side and up through here. So I'm going to find a spot to tack this down. I wrestled with this, so you don't have to. I took this body panel screw off, this body panel screw off, and I took my air filter out just to see, just for looking. So I'm going to put everything back together now, including the battery box. Can't forget that. And then we'll go about attaching this bad boy. So as you can see, I'm using a ram ball and a ram ball extender to connect this ram mount to my buggy, but I have no room. I could maybe fit it here if I move my brake lever, which I don't want to do. So I'm going to see if I can wiggle this this winch control over a little bit. I prefer to move it over that way a little bit and down even, but we'll see. I'll show you in a minute. All right, folks, so the only place that I could find to put my ram mount was right here. I have to put the bolt up through there and then the plate right there. And that means that I had to loosen off my brake and move it up here. But there's a little rubber thing here. I don't know what that is, and I don't want it to wear away on this, and I don't want to cut this away. So I cut the tip off of a rubber glove, and I'm going to put it in between there and there so that the rubber glove will wear away, and whatever this rubber thing is on the brake won't wear away. If I lose brakes, I know what it is. So I'm going to put this in place and get everything bolted up, and then I'll be back. So there we have it. This rubber thing here is protected by a bit of rubber glove. The brake lever's in a little bit. It's in this way a little bit, but it is what it is. I've got lots of grab on there. In fact, I prefer that right like that. It's like a 2-finger grab. The ram mount ball is mounted and torqued down and not pinching anything. Still got full motion of that. So now I have to screw this down, which is the USB. You can see it's waterproof. It's got a rubber cover, and it's got an off-on switch that gives you the voltage. So and plus I'm going to silicone this because I'm going to be screwing this to the airbox. So I'm going to be siliconing the screw holes, and it's just going to be just like that. In fact, I may put it. Oh shit! I don't know how I'm going to put it yet, but I'm going to put it somehow, and you're going to like it. All right, folks. So we have charging cable. I have the ram mount arm and connected to the ram ball of the X connector, the phone holder. Siliconed in. I have the slack of the USB cable zip tied up in behind, and I can pull this out and pull it up through if I want to ever remove the phone from the buggy if I'm going in the gas station or anything like that. And I have lock to lock room here so that this doesn't pull out of the so it doesn't pull out. I may give it a little tiny bit more slack. And I have working Polaris ride command. So this is mission accomplished, folks. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the video. This is poor man's GPS if you have an old cell phone. So enjoy. There it is.